to you. At this moment, I'm sending you an energetic invitation to join me on my current and final journey here on Earth. I invite you to be a part of the we, in the we the collective. I'm calling in my soul tribe, in peace, in love, in truth. I feel I have important work to do regarding nature and what that means to me. You are invited to watch my story unfold. In love, in peace, in truth, Naphtali. So in this video, I'm going to be bringing forward messages from Gaia, from Mother Nature, Mother Earth. In the pre-shuffle, there was an element of focusing on the will, and when we are working from our personal free will and we listen to what the body is telling us, and when we listen to when we have an understanding that we all have free will and that yourself as an individual has free will, and when you have that understanding, then you live your life with the knowing that you have free will. When you're making decisions and you're using the entirety of your free will and not just making decisions because you feel that certain options are not available to you, these kinds of decisions made out of free will have heightened vibration, have a heightened vibrational quality to them, meaning that when you are manifesting out of your will, and when you're making this manifestation with and being brought to all sides of the spectrum again, when you're making these manifestations, when you're trying to cultivate a manifestation, and you're doing it with the understanding that you have free will, and the knowing that you have free will, and every aspect of nature has free will, the vibrational quality is different than if you was to just make a decision because you feel forced to make that decision, or because you feel that the decision that you're going to make will benefit somebody else but not yourself. I want to get some more clarity on our free will. So I'm going to pull some cards, see what comes forward in regards to free will. It's important to have respect not only for your personal free will, but also the free will of others. Also that people don't have to make decisions based on your truth or your reality, but they make these decisions, we all make decisions based on the advice that our higher selves and our lower selves come to. It's that being, when you are faced with a decision and your system doesn't have an immediate answer, I'm being seen that your higher self and your lower self, I'm being shown that your higher self and your lower self come together and these two cards for me are representing both the higher self and the lower self. The higher self is the self that enables you to see things from a place of unification, but also from a place of pure intent, whereas your lower self helps to put your worries and fears into perspective. So when the two come together, your lower self is able to give it's not that your lower self is coming forward to say don't do this, you've got all this baggage, or you're not capable. Your lower self is saying you've got all this baggage, and that's how this baggage can help you in this decision. So your higher self and your lower self come together to meet in the middle to make a decision that's balanced based on all your life experience and all your knowings. What I'm feeling is that how this relates to free will is that your higher self and your lower self also have free will. I'm being brought to emotions as well, that whilst we have control over our emotions and we are the driver of this physical body, we're the driver of this physical body, each element of us also has free will. So anger, it's like I'm being shown like emotions as their own entities. So you have like anger, and that has its own free will on whether to express itself or whether to manifest itself in your body or to react to a certain situation in a certain type of way. And that's the same for anger and sadness. They also have their own personal free will to manifest themselves into your body to enable you to feel a certain type of emotion. But then you as the driver, you have the free will to allow that emotion to be expressed through your being and your perceptions of things. I feel like I'm being brought to the fact that I'm being told that not everyone will accept certain kinds of information, therefore I should speak what's true to me, and not only what's true to me, but what's coming forward from the divine. I'm seeing that free will isn't a concept that can be picked and choose. It's intertwined with the natural order of things. I'm being told that no organism that is a part of the greater universe exists without free will and without personal choice. When we came to Earth, we made a divine choice to do so for a divine reason. I'm seeing that for the majority of us, we came here knowing that we was coming here, knowing that we was going to have a human experience, and for a very small amount of us, some of us just ended up here, some of us came here because of curiosity, and within that curiosity was the free will to choose to still come. I'm being brought to speak about the animals, and that they too also have free will. The birds also have free will and the choice to mate with their next partner. They also have the choice to abandon their children if they wish, or their offspring. They also have the choice to, and the free will to bring in life or take away life, just as humans do. But because the animals are acting within natural law, and they are so effortlessly intertwined into natural law, that they don't come into problems, or they don't have an issue with their free will, because they're not trying to act outside of themselves and make decisions outside of themselves. So for instance, they are not, for instance, like a tree doesn't try to be anything other than a tree. It doesn't try to bring forward leaves or fruits if that's not that tree's particular purpose. An apple tree doesn't try and bring through oranges, it brings through apples. That's the same for birds and the animal kingdom, that they are not trying to be anything other than themselves. And whereas humans, we have all these facades, and we have the ability to, or we've gave ourselves the grounds to make decisions for other life forces on the planet, such as the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. And because we are making decisions that don't necessarily always benefit these other aspects of nature, we are coming into or experiencing a spiritual warfare between when it comes to free will. When it comes to free will, we're in a spiritual warfare because we're using our free will to not necessarily benefit life as a whole. Okay, so let's see what else comes forward. Gaia wants to ask that whilst there are many of us that do genuinely try to make decisions that affect the whole in terms of the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom, life in general, life force as an energy, she's asking us to take a moment and instead of trying to make these decisions for the world that we live in and other aspects, to make decisions for ourselves. She's saying that many of us lack compassion for things that are outside of us. So by making decisions that truly benefit yourself and not doing this with the mindset that you're being selfish, but with the mindset that by helping yourself you help others, when you make these decisions that truly benefit yourself, you're then able to make decisions that truly benefit the outside world. As you make decisions that benefit yourself and make yourself feel good, you're increasing your vibration. And as you increase your vibration, you're then able to increase the vibration of people around you, as well as the vibration of planet Earth. And as planet Earth's vibration increases, it then goes into new timelines and has a ascension of its own, experiences ascension. Once we are able to make decisions that truly benefit ourselves in terms of spiritual healing and ancestral healing and focusing on communicating with the self. So that's what it is. So basically what it is that what Gaia is saying is that she's asking us to go within and to communicate with ourselves, to get to know ourselves in order to get to know the outside world. In order to get to know the universe, you must know your inner universe, the you in the universe. By learning to communicate with yourself and knowing your bodily rhythms, as well as listening to your breath, you're able to communicate with subtle energies. You're able to communicate with the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom in a energetic way, because when you are communicating with yourself or learning yourself or discovering yourself, you're not doing it via words. You're doing it via focusing on these subtle energies of the body, focusing on emotions. You're doing it non-verbally. You're learning the self and going within and learning who it is that you are and your inner universe non-verbally. And when you're able to do that and you're able to have a better understanding of yourself and your body and your mind and your thoughts and the things that you want to manifest, you're then able to do that for planet Earth. You're then able to do that for nature, for things that are outside of yourself. You must get to know the you to get to know the universe, to get to know energy, to get to know frequency. She's asking that we don't use our free will to make decisions based on things that we don't understand. Basically saying that if you can't communicate with nature, to please not make decisions that are truly going to affect nature. Because once you make decisions that affect nature without understanding, things can come into an off balance. Because, for instance, we may bring it in some without truly communicating nature and trying to understand nature's needs. We may then bring in something that is not necessarily needed. For instance, I'm being brought to a lake, so like, if there's a lake that needs clearing, or that might need sanitizing, or it just might need cleansing, nature very way, Mother Earth, Gaia very well may already be in the process of clearing that lake. But what man does is that we don't take the time to communicate with nature, to get in tune with the flow of nature, and instead we come and pour our chemicals into the lake to clear it. And in that pouring of the chemicals to clear the lake with all that good intention, sea life and marine life can be harmed and damaged in that process because there's that lack of understanding. So it's important to use our free will to gain a better understanding of things, rather than making irrational decisions that could affect things on a greater, grander scale. I'm feeling that once we come into flow with our free will to do what we want on this planet, but with the understanding that we are greatly connected to this physical planet, planet Earth, that once we have both the understanding of our personal free will and our connection to planet Earth, that there won't necessarily be a need for laws. There will be a need for a general understanding of how we decide to have this dance on Earth. There will be a common way that we do things, but there will not be a need to necessarily tell people not to kill, because that understanding of how that choice affects the individual that committed that act, there's going to be a greater understanding of karma. That's what it is. There's going to be a greater understanding of karma and how your free will and the choices that you make knowingly affect you karmically. There's going to be an understanding of how those choices that we make and the things that we decide and the things that we manifest from free will, how those affect us and how they affect our peace. We're going to understand that the things that we do in the moment affect us both post the moment, so after the moment and before the moment. When we make decisions, the karma of those decisions affect us on other timelines. And we're going to come into this understanding that we need to come into balance and that we need to come into harmony with nature itself. We also need to come into balance with the self. And either way that we decide to come into balance, whether that's through nature, by forming a physical connection to earth or to an aspect of nature, or whether that is getting to know the self and becoming in flow with the self, either way, you're going to become into one with nature, because you are a part of nature. So you can decide to begin to go on your journey with nature and earth, or a physical aspect of it, or just begin to go within, whichever way that is for you. So that's all for today. Thank you, Mother Earth, for being present with us and providing us with these teachings. Ashe.